Hi, this is Khumbza Afrika Amplified. Welcome. This is a platform where we discuss vital issues shaping the African continent. We bring you exclusive conversations with influential African leaders while amplifying the African voice on the global agenda. Whether you are in Central, Eastern, Northern or Southern Africa, we've got you covered as we will be informing you about whatever that is happening across the African continent. Looking forward to it. Hashtag Khumbza Afrika Amplified. Today it's a special day indeed because I've got a special guest who will be joining me for a special conversation. She is the Vice President for the Gender and Youth Cluster in South Sudan, Her Excellency Rebecca Nyandeng De Mabior. Greetings to you, Your Excellency, and welcome to Khumbza Afrika Amplified.
Thank you, and good morning to you also.
When you reflect on the 13 years of South Sudan's independence, how would you describe the past 13 years?
Yeah, first of all, for a liberator like me, when we always celebrate our independence, what comes to mind is that one day we did not know that this independence of South Sudan will come at our age. So when we see our flag on the sky of South Sudan, we feel very happy that it is our generation who brought the independence to South Sudan. But other things are things that we are supposed to sit down and discuss them and to see how we can really bring development to our people and develop the people, because people of South Sudan have never tasted the independence and then also the development and freedom. They have never tasted. And you know, my husband equate the struggle of people of South Sudan to South Africa, but he said that the one of South Africa was a racist, but of South Sudan was a double apartheid. It was a racism and religion. So for us as a liberator and to come and we deviated from what we were struggling for, it take us back and say that what we have done to our people is not a good thing. We should reiterate our step so that we can see how the people of, because if we can't do it at our time now, the young generation will come and kick us out like what happened in Kenya.
Mm-hmm. We are going to be talking about what is happening at the moment in your country, Your Excellency. But going back to 2011, it was a historical moment which made headlines not only here on the continent, Your Excellency, but all across the world. But during your struggle, during the struggle years, Your Excellency, did you ever think that you were going to see such a special moment happening in your lifetime?
Yes, I did, because because of the man and the leader we had at our time, Dr. Garang De Mabior, is somebody I trust so much that I know he will liberate our people. He's somebody who loves his country, he loves his people. Is a man who do not have colors of or religion or races or whatever. He is somebody who loves his people equally, and he loves his people. And I know he loves his country, and I know he will liberate the people of South Sudan. And even not only South Sudan, because he talk about New Sudan, because there are oppressed people who are oppressed in the north in Sudan. The people of East, the people of West, the people of the center. So he wanted a total liberation of Sudan. But if he could not achieve that, the fallback position was a liberation of South Sudan, where the people of South Sudan will vote for their freedom.
Before we talk about what is happening at the moment, I just want to take the conversation way back, Your Excellency, during your early years as a young girl growing up. What were your aspirations and dreams?
As an African girl, I dream, only what we dream about is to have a good husband and have a good home. Education was not a priority. It's how you can have a good husband. I pray for that, and I wanted to have a good husband, a husband who would not marry another wife after me. And my prayer was answered by God. That's what I did. And I achieved what I was praying for.
Yeah. How did you meet Dr. John Garang, Your Excellency?
According to our custom and culture, there are dancing places where people go for dancing. The young people goes there, and they see themselves from there. If you love a girl, you follow a girl. Even if you love a man, you will not approach him, according to our culture. But the man will see a woman and approach a girl and follow the girl. It is not only one man, but so many of them. But you have to make a choice by praying and putting all your future in the hand of God.
Now, when you look at the contribution that your husband, Dr. John Garang, has made, Your Excellency, do you get a sense that the nation is betraying the vision that your husband had of a united South Sudan?
Yeah, we as leaders who are leading the country today, and I'm one of them, yes, I would say that we have not lived up to our call. And most of us who are in the leadership, we are the liberators, and we have not stood up for what we were fighting for. And I blame even myself for that, because we have not done for what we were fighting for our people. So I know we have not stand up for that. Yeah.
You spoke about the contribution that your husband, Dr. John Garang, made in the liberation of South Sudan, Your Excellency. But tragedy happened way back in 2005. He died in a plane crash. When you heard the news of his tragic passing, Your Excellency, what went through your mind?
As I was saying before we were cut, I was saying that I was following when they left Rakatura. He called me that they were coming on their way to South Sudan, and they were coming through Entebbe. And I was following from Entebbe until they took off. One of his aides called me, they were taking off. And then I told him, why are you leaving at this time? Is it not late? They say, no, we'll go. And my boss said that we have to go. So by the time we were waiting at 7, there was nothing, and it was already getting dark in South Sudan. And I followed it until 8, 9, there was nothing. His phone was ringing, satellite phone. I was calling and it was not going through. So I had to call you guys. I called the Minister of Defense, Amama Mbabazi, and I found he was in the village. They were conducting a referendum at that time. I called President Museveni and he said they left earlier. So I could not. And my body started to read differently. I started to shake, and I could not even gather my thoughts properly. And I was telling some people who were with me, I say, something, my heart is telling me that it's okay, but my body is reading different things. My mind and my body and my heart were speaking different things. When he did not arrive, when he did not, the sign of the helicopter coming until 7, 8, by 9 o'clock, my body started to read different things. So it was on Saturday, and overnight I could not sleep. My body was shaking, but my heart was telling me that he was okay, but the body was reading different things. So in the morning, on Sunday in the morning, some of his leadership were there. They came to me, and I knew that no good news. So I have to sit down and listen, and they told me that yes, the helicopter crashed and there was no survivor. Immediately I knew that it was something planned so that they can spoil the CPA. Our enemies were planning. So I say in my mind and my heart that I'm not going to give them that opportunity to break down. I said that I have to be strong, because I know when my husband used to take men to the field to fight, it was a matter of who is going to remain and who is going to come back. And if he was lucky to come back, we thank God for that. But if his turn has come, why should I not support people of South Sudan? And this is what he died for. If they kill him, this is what he gave his life. So I have to be strong to support the people of Sudan, the people of South Sudan, the liberators, those who are fighting. I have to keep them strong. So, I cry at night, and in the morning I wash my face and I come out smiling, and rub the back of those people. I have never seen something like that in my life. Men break down and they cry. I have never seen something like that. And I told my children, I said, please don't cry for your father. If the tears of the people can bring back a person, the tears of people of South Sudan and Sudan will bring back your daddy. Let us keep it strong so that we can support our people. Because I wanted to see people of South Sudan get their rights. Because I saw my husband as a prize, which is right for what he was fighting. So I was strong, but at the same time, I know that I'm going to miss him, and I know for sure that we are going to get our independence because that was the ultimate prize that the people of South Sudan has paid. So I will not have a doubt in my mind that we are not going to get our independence or referendum.
Did you get any closure? Because I know that there was an investigation that was launched into the plane crash that took your husband. Have you found any closure?
No, I did not. But there's nothing which will take it away from my mind that it was man-made. It was done by the people, and there were so many hands in it. But for me, what was important is what has killed him. The liberation struggle has will come to pass, and I would not want to spoil that. So I didn't want even to follow what is going on because I know the other future generation will come and investigate better, and they will find out what was wrong. And my prayer is for me to know while I'm still alive who have killed my husband.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that you will get that those answers?
I will, because I'm somebody who's a believer. I believe in God. I put everything of mine in the hands of God, and that God, which has given us this independence of South Sudan, will give me answers.
We are talking to you, Your Excellency, as well as both the widow of the founding father, Dr. John Garang, as we have been talking about him. And also, you are the Vice President for Gender and the Youth Cluster in South Sudan. Talk to me a little bit about your responsibilities and what your role entails as the Vice President for the Gender and Youth Cluster.
Yeah, yes, this position came because of the agreement that we had in 2018. Because I know that if it was an appointment by my party, I would have not been appointed to be the vice president. But it was brought by the agreement. The members of FDs, one of them proposed that one woman must be among the vice president. And the African Union, the IGAD, and even the former Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Haile Mariam, they accepted it, and they said that a woman must be there, and that woman must be Mama Rebecca. And then when they distributed the powers among themselves, they gave me gender and youth cluster because our men, they wanted where the powers and money is, but they didn't know that the power was with me because I was giving women and the youth. I was very happy to work with youth because I know they need a role model to lead them, and I know that I will be able to lead them into that because these are young generations and to lead them right, to raise their hope, the hope of a girl child that a woman can do, and as they say goes that what a man can do, a woman can do it better. So I want them to know that you need to struggle in order for you to get what you want. If you are given, then that person who give you will always take it back. But when you struggle for it, you will always that's yours. So I'm telling young generation, the girl child and the male child, that you have to struggle for whatever you want. Don't allow anybody to give you. It is your parents. Even with your parents, you need to struggle. You have to do something to please them in order for you to get something from them. Whether it is blessing or whatever you need to struggle for it. So for me, as a role model to the young generation and especially the girl child, It is very important that I'm in this position. Even if I don't do anything, my being in this position will give them hope that we can make it.
Women make up more than 50% of the population of South Sudan, isn't it, Your Excellency? Are you satisfied with the kind of contribution? Do you get a sense that you are making an effective contribution as one of the few women in the top leadership of the country?
Everything is a struggle, as I was saying it earlier. The male domination, it doesn't stop there. It is just not because you got the position and you sit back and you say that you will do. No, you need to struggle with them together, because nobody would like a woman to be in this position like where I am. And in our party, the SPLM, the women are giving 35%. During the struggle, it was 35%, and our president, the chairman of the SPLM, came and increased it to 35%. But that was a lip service. It doesn't work like that. If you go to the cabinet now, you don't have 35%. It's something like maybe 18 to 20% women representation. And in the presidency, it's myself and among the 5 men. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle that we need to always stay so that we can go to wherever we want. And also, this is what I tell the young ladies. I say that you must always lead yourself, and you will be able to go to wherever you are. Nobody can make you what you want to be. It is you who will make that. But our men or cultures will not allow us to do that, because everything is put on culture, custom, but these are man-made things. But nature God created us in His image.
Mm-hmm. How important, talking about women's representation and gender equality in South Sudan, how important was that International Women Conference that was held in South Sudan a few years ago after the ratification of the Maputo Protocol?
It was well received by the whole country, especially the women. They receive it very well. Our men, when you get the position, they are okay. They will fight for it. But some other men will try to sabotage whatever you do. But that conference, it was received by all very well, because it was an eye opener for our women to listen for their sisters who are on the other part of the continent, so that they know how are they doing their things, how are they struggling, and they find out that they are also struggling like us. The male domination is not only in South Sudan, but it is all over. Even in South Sudan, we are even better than our sisters in Sudan. And we in South Sudan, we are the role model of women in Sudan, because also they put religion as an aspect that the women cannot go. But we need to struggle. The women are struggling in Sudan, and in South Sudan, during the liberation struggle, it has opened our eyes. So the International Women Conference, really it was an eye-opening, because women came from different parts of the world, and even former vice presidents came. The former president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson, talked to us on the visual TV, and the women listened to her messages. So it was excellent, and we were trying to see into that if we could do youth conference also. So we are working on it to see whether it will be possible, because our time is running out. The time of how do you call it, our access, and then also the roadmap. We are trying now to work out. But if there is time, we will do youth conference, because we want them to have exchange with their sisters and brothers in other countries. So that one was a very excellent conference. Was well received.
Do you still have faith in the revitalized agreement which was signed in 2018, Your Excellency?
Yeah, we have gone too far. We have come for a long way, but we have done very little. And when we were reviewing an agreement, we found that it was only 10% of the agreement that was implemented, in which it's really very bad on us, and it does not give confidence to the people of South Sudan. They don't have confidence in us as the leaders of today. And today we are still discussing of how we are going to go because the roadmap has is almost coming to an end and what to be done. And I will not appreciate what we have done. We have not implemented the agreement in good faith. We do not have political will to implement the agreement. So we have not done very well.
Do you think different ethnicities are the cause of the disagreements that we are seeing playing out in your country with regard to the revitalized agreement?
I don't think so. People are taking the ethnicity as a cover up, but we as leaders, we are very selfish. We want everything for ourselves. Nobody is working for the people of South Sudan. We want everything for us because we talk about I and my party and like that. The people of South Sudan, they are not called parties. They are people of South Sudan. The parties will go, the leaders of the will go, but the people of South Sudan will always be there. Our problem is not because of ethnicity. Ethnicity, we are using it for cover up. But political will is not there. We are selfish. We don't want it to allow others to come in. So you run quickly to your athlete group. We are being mistreated because I'm from this tribe and this big tribe is doing that. That's cover up. I take it like that. Yeah, we did not take the country as ours and we fought for it. And there are people who pay their ultimate price. The blood has spilled for this country. And everybody in South Sudan have lost a loved ones for the land of South Sudan.
Mhm. Are you optimistic that elections will be held soon in South Sudan?
I don't talk about the election because, we do not sit down as leadership to discuss and say that, like presidency, we say we are going for election, the roadmap is coming to an end. How are we going to go? Even us as a one party, we need to sit down and discuss it. So why do I have to go and give a false information to my people? So I always avoid the question of the election because we do not discuss it, and I don't want to mislead the people of South Sudan. Whenever they see me, they see the face of a struggle. So when Mama Rebecca is there, they will say that okay, she will tell us what is really the reality, and the reality is not here. So I will not say anything.
Young people have got such an important role to play, not only in South Sudan, but on the continent as well, in shaping the future of the continent. But what do you see as the role of young people in South Sudan?
Yeah, we as an African, people grow in their ages. There are, and then people are grouped according to their ages in our setting. There are young people who are warriors. There are people who are looking after the cattle and all this. It was not us, the elderly people, who does everything. But now, because of politics and greed for power and money, it does not allow us to give the young generation a chance. We don't even see that these people are energetic. They have energy. They have a skill. In South Sudan, if you see now, those who are educated are immense than the people of the time of those of my husband. Educated people were not there, but now at this moment you find young people with a lot of skill. But because of the greed of power, we don't give them opportunities so that they can contribute to their country. And this is the same thing. The oppression for women also they don't want to put, as we said before. The young people are 73.6% of our population. And the women of South Sudan are 60% of the population. How can you ignore this number of power? You know? So our problem is that we don't want to involve the young people, and they have energy. You will ask me personally as Mama Rebecca, I will say that I have age, and I want the young people to step up from us.
Yeah.
But we are not all the same.
We are not all the same, indeed, Your Excellency, but I suppose that, in order to make a difference, young people have to be interested in politics. They need to get involved in political activities in order to effect an impactful change.
Let me tell you about when you say that the young people have to make a change. They do make a change, but we use the state machinery to quieten them so that they don't talk. But the youth of South Sudan, they are trying very hard. And I think you have watched the basketball team, the play that they did between the friendly play with the Americans. South Sudan, how you see young people what they have done. That one is a lesson to us. that evening, even though the South Sudanese team were defeated by 1 point, I was dancing in my room that night. So you can see that there is a change, a message that the young people are sending to us, yet we are not seeing it. Until now, the generation which are called Gen Z now in Kenya, these are our grandchildren. These are not even our children, these are our grandchildren. My grandson is 20. These are the same people who are demonstrating. And then they say that you will not treat us like our parents. Just imagine that one alone. We in Africa, not only in South Sudan or Kenya or in other places, all over Africa, we should sit down as leaders in Africa Union and discuss this. They should call a meeting for this. They should not leave it to the nation state of Africa Union. So it should be discussed because these are grandchildren. Our grandchildren are coming to tell us what we could not see.
So, in other words, Your Excellency, you're saying that if leaders do not listen to what young people are saying, we are most likely to see what is happening in countries such as Kenya, where we see the protests happening there.
Yes. We are going to see it on the TV here for Kenya.
Yeah.
But we should see how to start putting barricades that it will happen to us very soon.
As we wind up this conversation, what is your wish for South Sudan?
My wish, I wanted to leave this country clean. I want to leave this country to our children, our grandchildren very clean. A country which is free of pride, a country who's free of gender bias, also age, because we have to respect our age in Africa. We are supposed to be advisors behind there. And I want to go so that I go and tell those who left before us that, oh, what you were fighting for is now come to pass. But I pray, I say, God, don't take me when the country is like this. I want to go and tell my husband and his colleagues, what you fought for has come to pass. But I don't want to leave this country like this. We have messed up this country. We should clean it properly and give it to our children. They have energy, they have a skill, and they can do it while we are here. Why do we need to leave a mess for our children? Why?
Later this month will be the anniversary of the death of Dr. John Garang, Your Excellency. What will be happening? Are you going to be hosting any activities, any events to remember the founding father, your husband, Dr. John Garang?
We always pray here. I have a small chapel in my house. I pray here. It started during the coronavirus when there was lockdown. People are not going to churches. So I started my church in the house, and now we pray about 70 people in this small church. So during the 30th of July, some of our relatives and friends come and we pray together and we light candles. I always like to remember him quietly. I don't want it to, if the government do not want to remember him, me and my children, close friends and relatives, we always remember him on the 30th of July. Those who are not here with us, they always come on the phone and we celebrate that, remember what he has done. The only pain is that when we remember him in this mess that we have created. But I know one day South Sudan will be free from all those problems.
Any last word from you?
I wanted to say thank you for bringing me to the people of South Africa. I know our father Mandela was a supporter. He used to call my husband his son. He has supported the people of South Sudan and people of South Sudan when he was in prison. Was recognizing him and his struggle. And even one of our battalion was named after him, Mandela. Even here, I opened the school, Dr. John Garang International School. We painted his picture and the picture of John Garang. Even when the President Cyril Ramaphosa came here, I think a few months ago, they saw the picture. And that place, the school, we open it now as a hospital. But the Mandela picture and my husband's picture is there because they are African icon. That we have to remember that they have brought us the freedom. And I wanted to let South Africa know that you were part and parcel of people in South Sudan, and the same thing to us. We were part of your struggle for the people of South Africa. I want them to know this. So whatever we do, even during the referendum, during the interim period, South Africa contributed by training some of our staff in administration. So thank you very much. I wanted to tell the people of South Africa, thank you. And I wanted to thank you for your media to bring me to the people of South Africa today. God bless you and God bless South Africa. God bless South Sudan and our continent, Africa.
Absolutely. Your Excellency Rebecca Nyandeng De Mabior, it has been a pleasure indeed. Thank you. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence on this particular platform, and be blessed abundantly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was Her Excellency Rebecca Nyandeng De Mabior joining us here on Khumbza Afrika Amplified. Thank you so much for watching. It has been a pleasure having you along with us. You and I are going to meet again soon. Bye-bye.